King your shit, Toast.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name
How
is
do you
Fire.
not how do you not notice that on OBS?
Yeah,
Are we
there we
back?
go. Yeah, now we can.
Okay. So, anyways,
Nice review on Osaka food
thanks,
for
Toast.
Fire.
Yeah,
Hua
but
hua.
speaking of shorts and kind of random bullshit taking up the time, how about we move to Urahara?
What are you talking about? That's a 23-minute episode show.
How much material is there in that 23 episodes or 23-minute show?
Listen,
Okay.
to be fair, it has material of a full show. It doesn't have the frames of a full show. Yeah, so I watched Urahara.
This is
I
the
watched
crunch.
it like
This is the Crunchyroll backed one, right?
I assume it's Crunchyroll back because I'm pretty sure it's like web comic was Crunchyroll backed as well. So pretty sure it is, which explains why it has no budget whatsoever. I honestly,
You want to give some examples of it?
What is this show to those who don't know?
I mean, like, okay, so
Actually, yeah. Can you give us a summary real quick first?
yeah, an artist wrote this fucking show. I can tell you that much. Because guess what? Aliens come to Earth and they want to steal creativity, and three creative girls need to creatively fight them.
Yeah. But the way
Uh,
they fight him is apparently through Mario Paint or something.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
So
Make a
this
robot.
show has a lot of artism then.
Yeah.
you can say that. I'm pretty sure I have autism after watching. I'm gonna be honest. No. Honestly, like this show as a precursor, I went in knowing that this show has a 5 on Mall.
5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10?
Seems good.
5 out of 10, my man.
Oh,
Usually if something's lower than 6 on Mall, it's really fucking bad.
Yeah. It's really
That's the
fucking
thing.
bad,
This is-
or people it like strikes upon like it's like a specific type of genre that people are just like, well, this sucks or whatever.
Yeah.
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 That's one of that too.
I wouldn't say this is on the level of bad. I would say it's very clearly a show that was not meant to be 23 minutes long, and someone, Crunchyroll, made it 23 minutes long because of course the hand of making. Or the people
Because
making
it's
it
Crunchyroll.
foolishly decided to say, "Hey, it's fucking 23 minutes long."
By the
Is
way,
that
this is
right?
made by Crunchyroll or like helped produced by Crunchyroll, right?
So
How many times do you want me to answer that question? I don't
give
know.
me
I
give
think
me
it is. I think it is because they helped fund at least partially webcomic.
Yeah,
and
because
they
they
were the sole
had the
publisher.
interview with the scriptwriter or whatever that they're like making it with the help of Crunchyroll, right? Like,
Yeah, so Crunchyroll probably gave them fucking $5 and a ham sandwich. and said,
So,
"Crazy."
maybe they gave them Evi Fry as payment.
is this like 23-minute TQ?
No, because it has a
No,
very different
it's-
tone, and its animation is better than at the very least. Like,
Well, that's
it's
very
not
hard.
TQ. Yeah, it's not TQ, but it's also not. It's basically like what you would expect from a short like this, but it's extended over 20. You're
Yeah,
essentially just watching a short for 20.
Yeah, my experience was that like it's like it starts out as like oh, we're kind of like a children's show kind of thing, and then it kind of has the whole like magical girl sort of thing draped over it, right? The whole like aliens, we need to defeat them using whatever stupid autistic powers, right? And then
There are the
It's
Gorbach.
artistic.
oh, I
Or
apologize,
whatever.
artistic
I don't
powers.
need that's not.
Artismic powers, but it's they need to do that, and then but the issue is it's like at the beginning it was sort of like, oh well, I guess if it's like a children's show it's not too horrible being this bad, and then like it just kept on being that quality while like the story kept trying to be more complex. Notice I said trying to be more complex, and also like then the quality started going downhill in terms of like, visual stuff. Like there was this one example where this girl is like wondering about like, like what could happen in different regions or like different areas of Japan or something like that, and so it starts cutting to like the different places, right? And it starts like pointing at like different stuff like in those different like background images, right? But the arrow is literally Microsoft. Like how like those like YouTube videos, there's like they have like they take Microsoft Paint and then they like pencil like draw the black arrow, right? And it's like all like squiggly. That is literally the arrow that they use.
That's style, my man.
It's
That's style. You didn't mention the best part about the arrow. It's that the line like that meets the tip of the arrow doesn't actually point of the arrow. It meets one of the sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it doesn't actually. It's not actually an arrow.
Oh,
Like it's
Maybe.
fucked up.
It's creative. How would you know?
That's what I'm saying. That's a creative arrow.
Yeah.
it's
Very creative.
It's an artistic choice, dude. Just like
that's just like an adult anime for you, but it's very and the story itself is very obviously like beyond the premise. Like the scriptwriters clearly haven't thought of anything. The issue is it's like I
Well,
wouldn't.
it's just a short
wouldn't even-
webcomic being turned into a fucking 20 show when it should be 3 minutes
Yeah.
or at most 5.
The worst part is I wouldn't even mind that much if it wasn't for the fact that like I don't think the authors even thought about like the magical girl like battle kind of transitions properly. They're just like, yeah, they're magical girls, I guess, and then yeah. They just kind of like fell off the cliff after that.
Well, yeah, because what are they going to do? Animate a fucking transformation sequence? They can barely animate the goddamn show to begin with.
Yeah.
Like that thing that my biggest like that is that I can forgive it for a lot of the things for that. Like I don't think this is like unforgivable, and I see what's going on here, and I think it's okay. But it very much is like all the problems you would think would come up from a fucking short turned into 23 minutes long, when the short's supposed to be like 4 to 5 minutes. So you're gonna have like a plot because the webcomic itself was like a short webcomic that was like kind of, I don't want to say a joke, but the only reason why it's because it's like, hey guys, this art style is pretty, I guess here's a thing to like kind of be able to draw stuff with it. So I think it's okay in that sense. It has like it actually has like in the middle, it has a chunk of like perfectly fine, I would say perfectly fine anime, perfectly fine. The most interesting thing I think about this series, how they're managing to like even try and get this done on what is very obviously a minuscule budget, with the way some of the shots go and like how some of it is like intercut and like I'm trying to think of like what call certain shot, like the split, it's like a square split or whatever, like a split screen sort of thing where there's like 3 characters, 3 boxes intercut on the screen, and then like the main scene still there. It's hard to explain. It's visually somewhat interesting.
It's like, I mean, like visually, like I can see like sort of what they're trying to do, or like what sort of tone they're trying to strike with the style. But the issue is then like you see like the ragged edges, and you're like, all right.
I mean, for me, the issue is that it then goes on fucking 20 more minutes than it should.
Yeah, that too.
That's the whole thing. Like, I could easily forgive this and be like, yeah, this is a fun short if it was like 5 minutes long. But the fact that it's 23 minutes long is, I mean, even just watching episode 1, I found myself going through like 4 or 5 minutes of it, pausing it, doing something else, and then coming back.
Yeah, because you're so bored.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that I was bored. I was like, yeah, I've had enough of it. Like, I'm full, thank you. I don't need to see more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if it was paced out like that, I think over, I think it'd be fine. Um, but hey, guys, Crunchyroll is a good company.
So, from what I gather, this is the Madoka of the season, right?
Yeah.
No, the Madoka of the season is wrong. It's not the art style. Madoka.
Right.
It's the shoujo show or whatever.
One
I
of
forget
one
what the
of
hell
them
the rest.
one of them needs to like slit the other's throat for it to be Madoka, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Randomly QB appears. But anyways, any last words on the series? Or if you recommend it or not, or maybe you give a kind of like a hold or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I'm reluctant to say like. I obviously like. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, I'm not like. I wouldn't be like, yeah, you should watch this show if you're just someone who's not seeking it out or something. But it's like if you want to see how this art style plays out and maybe see if they go anywhere with like any more somewhat interesting shot compositions and stuff like that, or how maybe see how like a studio could try to pull together something that's supposed to be 4 minutes into 23.
Mhm.
I would say then check it out. It's a very specific thing. Like, you're not checking it out to get like entertained based on, like the plot, the show, or like the writing, or purely going in to just see interesting visuals sometimes,
Mhm.
and then maybe how a studio manages others.
Right.
I don't think it's a 5, but I don't think it's a 6 either,
Okay.
or a 7. I'd say this show is.
Well, I
actually,
mean, Mal
like,
rating.
Well, it is
even
just
talking
one-
about Mal ratings at all is just like.
It is just one episode. Like, maybe it'll get better with time because if they're gonna be creative, they better have a whole new. Like,
I very much doubt that.
better have a whole new theme for the next episode. Like, what? First episode was fried shrimp. Next one's that'd be like Salisbury steak or something.
Fried
What the fuck are you talking?
cookies.
What are you talking about?
All right, we need to move on. We need to.
Why was the first episode? First episode wasn't about fried shrimp. Fried shrimp girl shows up.
Oh, that's good
That's
enough.
about
man.
it. And the fried shrimp gives exposition.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
That was pretty cool.
All right. Okay, we need to move on. So from that, we'll I guess move right on to Toast, and you watch one of the bigger names this season with Osama game, right?
It's not a big name.
Isn't Osama game one of the Chinese ones?
No,
No, I don't think it's
No.
a Chinese one.
That's Evil or Live, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say maybe it's not big name. I mean, it's more known though because it's like one survival game this season, or rather one of like what 2? Isn't it just this and Live or Equal or Live or
oh
whatever?
my god, doesn't Juni Tyson count as a survival game too? That's 3.
Battle Royale, but
Yeah, it's not really
Okay.
survival. It doesn't have the same convention as a survival game. There's no, at least not so far. There really hasn't been any.
yeah, they're not playing
Psychological.
games. They're just trying to kill each other.
I forgot Evil or Live was this season. That's the one that has like upside down animation, right?
yes,
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, Osama Game is for those who don't know, Osama Game is a party game that you play with your friends where you draw straws, and whoever has the special straw is the king.
Has to put a turban on.
And then
It's true.
they say Osama Darida, which is who's the king, and then the king gets to order 2 people to do stuff. And that's
Mhm.
how you pick up chicks at bars, I guess, or hang out with your friends.
I'm not sure
Wait,
about that,
he
but I
orders
get it.
people to do things?
Yeah.
Didn't 10 people die at the same time though?
Well, that's the thing. The thing is about this show is you have to realize, like this is actually a sequel to the manga. This isn't a. It starts off with the main character. He's having this traumatized nightmare about the previous Osama game, which was covered in the manga. For those who want to check it out, and then he's in the boonies now because stuff happened in the first part, and now he's in another classroom, and then he's all like, he's pretty mentally traumatized from the whole affair. Like his new class, everyone's trying to be friends with him. Like, hey, how are you? You want to play with us? And he's all like, no, get away from me. I don't want to talk to any of you. And he runs out of his class screaming. He's kind of weird, but I can chalk that off to mental trauma. And
I
then
mean, it's like a survival game, but it's more like it's a little bit more of an in media res kind of thing because the background of the character is that he's already gone through a thing of the Osama game, and he can't like escape from it. He's been traumatized by it. He'll obviously have some backstory about blah blah blah, all that shit, and probably recovering from it. But then now the class has to follow the Osama game. That's the orders are sent through their cell phones. And obviously, some of them are retarded. Actually, most of them are retarded because it's anime, right? And so they don't listen to it. Some of them fucking die horrible deaths, and so life goes on, right?
Is this the Saw 2 of anime?
You mean the another of anime? Wait, another is anime.
Wow.
Saw is anime.
Shit.
I mean, I guess you could count it off as similar to another, where people are dying one by one.
Wow, you mean this survival game similar to another survival game?
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, the point is that like, I mean I don't want to say this because it'll create a different. Okay, so I don't want to say it like this because it kind of puts a different denotation to what I'm kind of what I like, how I like to approach anime. But the value of this series, right? Like the reason people are watching it, the reason the writers sort of made it like this is to sort of see people's heads getting chopped off and blown up. It's like Corpse Party, right?
Yeah, Corpse Party's cool.
Yeah, I'm not denying that it's cool. I'm just saying this is how it is, right? Like it's just watching people kind of like dick around and be completely retarded for no reason, and then they just their blood vessels all blow up, and then they're like, "What? He dissipated and he got killed? Wow!" And then later on, the MC makes lovey-dovey with the girl, and then more hard decisions have to be made, right? Yeah, am I wrong about any of this?
The Osama game, it starts off, the rules are like, everyone who receives it on the cell phone is a participant of the Osama game. You can't back out of it halfway, and if you don't obey the rules, you get punished. And it starts off relatively small, like, the first one is, the main character's gotta kiss this chick,
Yeah.
or else something bad happens, and he knows what happened last time in his previous school, so you know, he doesn't want to do it because he's all like, if this is happening again, let me just die, leave me alone. But then the chick that he has to kiss sneaks a kiss on him, and he's like, why'd you do that?
Wouldn't
Jesus.
he be murdering the girl?
Yeah, that was one of his things. He's like, if I don't do this, she'll die too. But then he's
I
like,
mean,
I'll screw it. I want to die anyway. I don't want to deal with this.
Damn, what an asshole.
I know.
the thing is, it's like the morals of this story and like the consequences of actions are not well thought out, and that sort of goes beyond just them being kids. It's just that the writers are just not very good.
The problem is that it starts off immediately after the original one. If this was the original one, then you'd have a lot more like build up to what's happening. This one, it just drops you straight in the thick. Like after the first after the first order where the dude kisses the chick, then it's like stuff happens rapidly fast. There was one order where some dude has to lick this other chick's shoe or foot or something, and then this chick has to hook up with this dude, and then another one of the
They're
orders
truncating
is,
quite a bit, like the in between and like the consequences, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're going really fast, and like the main order this episode was, you can't be asleep right now, or else you'll get punished. And the thing is that this order was sent out at midnight, and most good little boys and girls in high school at midnight are probably asleep.
So basically, you're telling me that this writer is a fucking idiot.
So wait, they sent out the order before anybody could even react to it. And if you were already asleep, you lost.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Dude, this is the magical girl survival
Holy
game.
shit.
I mean,
That's mind game, dude.
Dude, remember?
Hey, by the way, you're gonna play this game. By the way, you lost without playing the game.
No. Hey, you remember Magical Girl Racing Project where the girls, the one magical girl is like
Gets
like,
punished
how-
for using her power?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her power was to be like helping people in their sleep by being asleep, and then they're like, "Go outside," or it's like what?
Holy shit, dude.
It's like that, dude. But anyways,
to be fair, the cast is pretty sizable. It's what, 32 students in this
So
class?
they
That's not to be
That doesn't
fair. They
balance it
made
out.
it
That's
like
a-
that.
You got
Two bad
The
things.
writer made it that
You
way.
gotta cull- you
Like,
gotta
he
cull them a
made it
little bit.
32 people.
No. This is how it works. It's like he's like in a cafe like writing, like you know how like those like stereotypical like.
And he got a
writers
text
have-
message that said you gotta put 30 people in your show. You
No.
die.
He's like he writes it and then he's like, oh man, and maybe I'll add this character and maybe I'll add this character and like 30 characters later he's just like, oh shit, this is supposed to be a horror story, right? And so he starts just like cutting people out like
Shit,
randomly.
But it's already published. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I've already written this much. Like
I think that the point was that you're supposed to take this game seriously because this is the second coming of the game.
I don't know
What
how
the
you.
fuck
I
does
don't
that
know how.
mean?
The
I don't know how you can take it seriously when you're punished without even knowing what the fucking game was.
no, I'm sure the kids in the story take it seriously. Whether the viewers take it seriously is another question, right?
I'm really like heavily accrediting to the how fast paced and rushed this first episode is because this is the second Osama game. The first one, it was like I don't like to be comparing this to manga, but the first one was this small thing where this dude like touches this girl's boobs and everyone's like, haha, that's funny. And then the next one is like this dude has to have sex with this girl or something. No, this dude has to touch this girl's hair, but they were both sick that day, and everyone's like, oh, whatever, and they laugh it off. Then the next day they're both dead, and then they're like, oh, what, like this? That's a weird coincidence. And then the third time is when like this dude has to have sex with this girl, or else they die, and stuff starts like slowly escalating there. They're getting more and more wary of the Osama game before stuff starts happening, before stuff starts really spiraling out of control. But this one, they just throw you in the thick of things. We're gonna kill off 10 characters because the main character has already lived through this, so let's just like hand wave all that so we can start the killings. And
Is this anime original?
no,
No,
This
it's
is the
manga original.
no, it's a
I mean
It's
like
light novel.
the sequel
Okay.
bit.
no,
So this has already been written.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Even worse.
That's why I think like most people will be turned off by this series, like when they're going because it's moving too fast.
You think the
So-
pacing is why? I think there are other reasons why people might get turned off.
Well,
but
for first-time watchers, it's going to be because like there's things are happening too fast.
Well, I mean, for first-time watchers, you already have a fresh anime that's immediately starting off as a sequel,
Yeah,
and in the first episode, they kill 10 characters. I think if that's not enough to put somebody off from something, I don't know what is.
I mean, what I'm saying is that I think the pacing is the least of this sort of thing's problems. I think the bigger problem is probably that people are just kind of like getting rolled, like like fucking bowling pins.
yeah. And the main
Yo,
character,
new game. If you did the last game, you're dead.
You're dead.
Here's a new rule: if you breathe, you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
and
By the
main-
way, this rule was in effect 10 hours ago.
Yeah. Oh my god. But okay, so what I want to ask, I do want to wrap this up, but what I want to ask is that do you think it's? I mean, I kind of described what I think the usual structure of these things are, right? Like people die. There's like a slight like lovey-dovey thing going on through because there's like a boy and there's a girl or whatever, and then they have to make some hard decisions. They probably come out of it alive, but like everybody else, like 3/4 of them just like all die, and most of the stuff is just them just dying all over the place with no real rhyme or reason. Do you think it's gonna go beyond that, or do you think pretty much all the value of the series is gonna be centered around that Toast?
What do you mean? Like, we're gonna have character. You want character development?
No. What I'm saying is that that's like this is the structure. Like I told you what the structure is, right? There's gonna be slight like lines of threads of like romance or whatever, but most of it's just gonna be like people keeling over left, right, and center without real rhyme or reason. And most of the value of watching the series is going to be um from that essentially.
The
So
killings? Yeah, probably.
do you think it's gonna go beyond that, or do you think it's just gonna stay that way?
I'm hoping that we get more information on what the actual Osama game is, because the manga, we got a little bit of it, but it wasn't too deeply explained. So I'm hoping that we get more. Now that we know the main characters, this is his second round of it, and people are dying, and he told all his classmates, "I'm hoping there'll be less deaths," so they can figure out more backstory behind the Osama game rather than just killing people left and right in the first
No.
one.
All right. Okay.
I mean,
So
like overall, I'm iffy about recommending this to other people because this is an actual sequel without anyone telling. I mean,
okay, I don't. Okay, I you keep saying like like it's like this the
there's
whole
a
like
lot of
pacing and like truncation thing, but I think it's less the truncation thing and more just like I mean even if it wasn't like a truncation, even if it was properly paced, I think a lot of people will still be relatively uncomfortable with it because it's just like people just randomly dying. You know what I mean?
it's not so
Uh,
it's not randomly dying. They have to do the order in order to die. So
It's pretty fucking random.
Except
It's in the middle of the
they
night.
game-
The order is
They
very
literally
specific.
couldn't do the order because they were already asleep. It's like completely bullshit.
it is.
well, what I'm saying is like when I say random is kind of just like the idea is just to have people kind of get caught up in these sort of like incidental. Oh, I didn't follow the game, or suddenly I just get angry and like disobey the rules, or like suddenly this love triangle forced me to take a different path and completely just like make me break the rules, or somebody trick me or make me break the rules, blah blah blah. And there are going to be sort of these like random incidences of people breaking the rules in the timeline, and that's going to be people dying, and everybody's going to be like stuff like that. So that's sort of how the story, if you can call it that, progresses, is what I'm saying.
Probably. It looks. They're probably gonna be like at least one person has to die every episode. That's what I'm
Yeah,
sure.
at least yeah. Unless they're planning out like something to like really defeat them. But even in like those things, like even in like the planning episodes, usually somebody dies at the very beginning, and then they plan it out at the very
Very
end.
much. Because
Yeah.
like the last kill of this episode was don't do anything. Is like this one dude who was
Don't do
threatening the
anything to
main character.
disturb the game.
Don't do anything unnecessary, and he
Mhm.
punches the main character. Then the Osama's like that. You gotta get punished, and then he dies.
That's no bueno. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully, again, if you do like that sort of stuff, a little bit more in the line of Corpse Party, but as Toast said, a little bit of problems with the pacing and everything. But if you are into that, please do check it out.
Like I'd heavily recommend reading the manga first before
Mhm.
doing this, because there's a lot of flashbacks to the first death game, whatever, that you might not like. I'm not sure at this point, but you might not get from this season. You might get like a little few flashbacks, but nothing too in depth.
Mhm.
But to totally enjoy this, you have to read the
It's better to just go to the original.
and then watch this if it floats your boat.
I do want to know real quick though, as far as the challenges go, and it sounds like you know at least somewhat about the original. Like as far as the challenges go,
I marathon the original
okay,
like in 2 hours. It's not that long because it's a phone novel, but it's not.
okay. I was gonna say, as far as the challenges go, are they just straight up like these isolated, like pretty much honestly the same shit we've always seen before, where it's like, oh, you got to do this other thing with your classmate, or oh, you got to do something lewd, or you got to do something that's like repulsive, or are there ever like,
Yeah, there were. Like I've mentioned in the first one. First one was you gotta touch this chick's boobs, and you gotta touch
no,
her
no,
hair.
I
and
know
then,
that they have that. I'm saying anything other than that. Like I had put in chat, like, has there ever even been a thing where it's like, here's your challenge, rob a bank, like pull off some like actual that might be difficult, other than like, yo, touch this character, because we all know why that's written.
Don't think so. I remember one of the challenges was roll it. Well, what do you mean by difficult? Like physically or emotionally?
Well, not even just difficult, like something that will have outside repercussion, because all the
I get what you
are
mean.
always fucking written to where it's like just a power fantasy, or like not even pretty much a power fantasy between like classmates of opposite sexes.
Okay, I get what you
always
mean.
like fucking touch your classmate or something.
Like in the previous
It's
work,
shit like that.
one of the orders was we're gonna have like a friendship vote, and we're gonna have to make you pick between these two people, and the loser gets punished. And,
No,
you know,
see, that's still isolated. Like I was wondering if there was anything where it like actually outside of where it's like do
Where it
this thing
brings
that
in people from outside of the game.
no, no. It's pretty.
that was just a curiosity.
It's pretty It's pretty centered around
Self-
the classroom, because some of the other games were we're gonna have like this drawing between 1 to 100, and the person who draws the 100th paper dies, kind of like that. So it's definitely self-contained. Like they even tried to, tell the police about it, and the police were like, "Stop playing your kids' games, you losers." They definitely don't believe it.
Thank you, police officer.
So it's like isolated, yeah.
Man comes up to police officer and says, somebody is threatening me with death. Police officer goes, ha ha, nice.
I mean, who would believe some high schoolers who got this text on their cell phone?
Literally every police officer.
Yes, every single
Actually,
police
they're
officer. If you had if you had
No,
physical
it's
evidence,
like Koito Uso. They all come like in the black suits.
if you had physical evidence of a text on your phone that was threatening you with death, every single police officer in the world would
Just-
believe you.
So, yeah, actually, or like they would at least like take precautions or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, they probably like isolated. The writers unfortunately did not have time or the research or the effort to try to make the characters slightly better, as can be seen by the sort of characters' initial reactions to, hey, everybody's going to fucking die, when they meet in the park. But it's unfortunate, but a lot of the value comes from people getting blown up or getting run into by Mack trucks, or getting skewered by umbrellas or whatever it is, right? So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, speaking of speaking of crashes with trucks and disasters, how's Kino no Tabi near?
I don't know, dude. How much do you like people riding on motorcycles in CG?
Wait, you were there when I described to Dark what that GIF looked like, right? I was like when I saw like the motorcycle like coming around, like curving around and like stopping, right? And like kind of like I thought I thought the CG motorcycle would just like plop over, like that infamous Berserk GIF where like the corpse just like whoop, like
yeah.
topples over. I thought the motorcycle would just do the same thing.
Well, I hope you like that GIF because they do that 2 times in the first episode.
I was gonna
They
say.
use that exact animation 2 fucking times.
What a beautiful world.
See, it
Yeah.
would have been cool if it didn't look like shit. It
So,
would have been nice.
So, for those of you that don't know, Kino no Tabi is a series about Kino, and she goes on an adventure. And she's a traveler, and she goes to different quote unquote countries. They're essentially just fucking villages. And she stays in them for 3 days. That's her rule. 3 days, no more, no less. And then she sees like all kinds of people and stuff like that, and then she moves on to the next one. Kino has already had an anime back in like 2004 or something, and this one is extremely different in pretty much every way possible, and that's where majority of my problems arise.
Mhm.
So, fucking CG memes aside, the show has a very mediocre audio visuals, I would say. Like, nothing about it is outstanding. The environments are pretty typical of what you'd see in an anime.
Yeah, Dark.
Um,
You also said that it didn't seem too bad, right, or whatever.
Well, I was gonna say I thought it was fine. I wouldn't say the visuals, other than the CG, mediocre, but I would definitely agree with the audio. Very mediocre.
yeah, the music's terrible.
It's just not. It's nothing.
It essentially would have as much impact if there was no music whatsoever. Majority of the music sounds royalty free. It's not good.
Except for like but the opening and the ending are both excuse me, both done by Nagi Yanagi, right? Yanagi Nagi.
I
Like,
believe
what
so.
Yeah,
happened?
and I guess that's
What
where all the
happened?
money.
Yeah, what, is that really where all the money went? Like, what's going on?
But in terms of like just stuff in motion, I think it's relatively mediocre. Like when characters aren't right up to the camera,
Mhm.
they don't look very good.
Okay.
Pretty much anytime Kino is on her motorcycle that like isn't a close up, it is CG. Majority, well, not majority, but a lot of the time where there's characters in the background, they're either not moving or they're CG. The environments, like the backgrounds, they're not bad, but they're certainly not outstanding. They're very typical. But my main problem with the show is the tone.
The tone, you say?
Yes, the tone of the show, like just the general vibe you get from it.
Okay.
The original Kino is it's a very somber show. It's very slow. It has this air of mystery, I guess. I mean, it's pretty typical of what you'd expect from the director of Lane, right? The director of Lane directed the original Kino, and it definitely shows. This show has none of that. There's really no hint of somberness whatsoever. It's very bright, and even when they're doing the quote unquote like messed up, twisted scene that was in the first episode, it continues to be bright. It continues to be very colorful, and there's really not much impact to it. It I guess it's really unfair to compare like Lane's director to somebody else. Like it's just like that's not really a shadow that you can fill, right? Because like that guy just does so much right that it's hard to live up to that. But I feel like
Wait, is the original staff mostly intact for this anime?
I would doubt it, honestly. Like, yeah. I'd have to look that up, but from what I can tell, most of the recurring staff is just a couple of voice actors. And you know, the voice actor for
So
the
it's essentially a
original.
revamp. It's sort of like a takeover, quote unquote, by like newer faces. Is what you're saying.
I guess, yeah. Like, it's not covering the same stuff as the original Kino. I'm sure it's like newer stuff from the light novel, but yeah, it has a similar format, I guess. I mean, I imagine this is going to be pretty episodic. It's just gonna be, Kino going on her adventure, but
What do you mean her?
wow,
Spoiler.
Kino's a girl. Who'd have fucking thunk? Even though for some reason Horrible Subs translated Hermes referring to Kino as a boy when he never does that. But
It's-
How can you tell it's a girl at first glance? It looks like a boy.
Look at that official art.
wow, it's almost like Kino's light novel author has been making Kino more and more sexual with every fucking release. But
Wow, what a pervert.
It's the changing times. But anyways,
yeah.
go on.
But I don't know. Like, I just don't see. I don't see this Kino being able to do anything that the original did, like, at all.
What do you mean being able to do like? What are these things that you wanted to do? Sort of.
I mean, like, because when in the original Kino, like, Kino helps people and then like gets betrayed, and then she has to, kind of fight with herself as to whether like that was even worth it. Because there's an episode where she comes across three people that are like starving to death, and she says,
Okay.
"Oh, I'll help you," right? And she
Mhm.
starts hunting rabbits and stuff, and like she's like, "Oh, I'm not too fond of killing animals for other people's sake. It's different when I'm hunting for myself, but like if I'm killing these rabbits, I like there has to be some sort of weight to it, right? Like I have to be legitimately saving these people." And then by the end, when she saves them, they're slavers and they try to kidnap her and she has to shoot them.
Okay.
Like, I can see.
Well, I can see it happening, but I can
I
see it
can
also
see
becoming
it.
jarring. It'll be jarring.
Yeah, I can see stuff like that happening in this because like something does happen in the first episode similar to that. Like, because in the first episode of the new one, she goes to this country where apparently murder is not a crime. Like, it's not something that is
Okay.
like punishable, right?
Mhm.
And all along the way, she meets this guy that's like, "Oh yeah, this town sounds great. I can just kill all the people I want. Like anybody that I don't like, I can just fucking murder."
Mhm.
And she goes to this country and she has like everything's super peaceful, right?
Mhm.
It's a whole full of like old people and everybody's nice to each other and the food's great and all that shit. And when she's about to leave, the guy that she met earlier, like tries to steal her stuff, and then she's like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "Well, I'll just kill you then." And then, uh, like the entire town is like gangs up on this guy and essentially murders him. And it's like they're like, just because murder is allowed doesn't mean it's
No,
like,
it's just because it's murder is not prohibited.
yeah,
Doesn't
just
mean that
because
we
it's
allow it.
not like not punishable doesn't mean it's allowed, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then he's like, "Well, what the hell is that?" And then they fucking kill him. And then it's like, okay, moving on.
That's
There's no like there's no weight to it.
right. It's
Well, I think there's weight to it, but I think the uh, show gives it a much more good versus evil sort of thing rather than what you described like from the original, where it's not. I don't want to say it's like gray with slavers, but it was a much more complicated situation than a man being like, I want to fucking kill people and learn from a serial killer. You're like, yeah, I'm totally okay with this person being hard murdered. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if the new one is going to be able to pull off what the old one did, where yeah, Kino had to kill those slavers, but she also spent multiple days feeding those slavers and talking to those slavers and learning about their customs. And apparently one of them was going to get married when he came home, and the episode made you like the characters, and then at the end they weren't good people, and so she had to kill them. There's two sides to that, but in this it's bad guy gets killed, Kino leaves, and it's well, okay, I guess
They make light of the death.
Well,
is what you're saying.
they don't make it very impactful. Why would you want to kill people anyway? The way they kind of get that in is at the very end. They have that other guy who was a killer, who is like, yeah, I killed people my entire life, and I don't want to do that anymore. Never want to again.
Yeah, but it's still
But no, I get what you're saying.
it's still it's still
why
it doesn't portray that guy at
I'll
the
do
end
it.
in any sort of bad light.
Yeah,
He's immediately a good fucking guy. Oh, I'm looking for somewhere safe to stay. I'm sick of killing people because my old town was a hellhole. And it's well, you didn't put any sort of weight into the fact that he had to kill people. You just was he's a good guy, and unfortunately he had to kill people, and now he doesn't want to. It's not there's no two sides to that coin. It's just he's a good guy.
yeah,
Right? He's
yeah.
a good.
Because it might be.
There's a good guy at the end that gets a home in a good place, and then there's a bad guy that gets killed because he wanted to take advantage of said place. It's black and white.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's trying to be gray because they're oh, he's bad. Yeah, but we didn't see that, so it's irrelevant. He could have been the fucking worst person ever. All he's saying is, I did something bad. It's okay, I killed people. Those are people we don't care about. We didn't see.
There's no weight in that. If it was, if say the original Kino did something like that, it would put a lot of time into that last guy. That last guy would probably be a third of the episode.
Well, yeah,
there would be flashbacks and shit of what he was doing, and then the episode would play out almost as if Kino had seen that, right, and she was judging the kind of character this guy is, and whether she has to, whether it's right for her or not to say, yeah, go and live there. And this doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of depth missing to this show.
Do you think? Well, it is only one episode right now, right? Yeah, there's only one episode right now.
Yeah.
But I know that none of us in this podcast, we've learned that the first episode is just as important as the second episode, is just as important as the third episode, right? And setting the series, setting the tone and everything. Do you think that it is going to get better in terms of easing into a more serious tone? There's going to be a tone change over the episodes? Or do you think that it's going to stay the same tone and it's going to do all these it's going to do more lighthearted things for the most part, and then every once in a while it'll do the whole straight adaptation, it'll do the homage, the events, but then it'll seem again jarring because because the tone is because it's Kino is more lighthearted than in the original.
You see, I think honestly the problem with this new one is that it is a straight adaptation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I say like the original Kino anime was very somber, the light novels aren't really like that, I feel. And I think majority of the fact that most of that tone is from the director, right? Like he takes something and then he transforms it into something like more, and that's just what that kind of director does.
Yeah, I mean there are plenty of very good like examples of like series that
Yeah,
maybe even like Hari or the obvious sort of asshole example is Clannad, right? Stuff like that is more right, but
yeah.
unfortunately right now it is a straight adapt.
But I mean, Kino as it's gone along has the light novel at least has it's definitely gotten less serious, less I guess weightful. It's kind of just your typical.
Is it still ongoing?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm almost positive that it is.
Because I mean,
Because they promoted, I think, a new thing alongside.
with a framework like Kino, you can fucking go forever.
Yeah, that is very. I mean, it is just like a journey. So.
Yeah, it's just a traveler traveling.
But what if
You
she?
can go forever?
Are you saying she's immortal? She has to die someday, Nier.
Yes.
The
No,
journey
she's
can't
a fox
be
god.
forever.
Her motorcycle
Wow.
gives her talent.
Stop spoiling.
Anyways, if you can finish up what you were saying here.
But yeah, the light novels as they've gone on, they've just kind of been less about like having a message behind it and more of just like
Doing stuff.
Here's the story, right?
Well, okay, no, okay. I sort of get what you're going with. So what I'm thinking is that, and this is kind of extending this discussion, but it is Kino, so why not? There's a difference between I know what you mean when you say you sort of want a story, but there's also a thing that people sometimes do where it's like they kind of just throw out like a moral lesson or like one of those like sort of Aesop fable kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Does he do that though? Does he try to do that
in the
the
recent
new one?
ones?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, most of the whole like.
I mean, I'm not saying it had to be good. I'm not saying it was good or bad or whatever. But does he keep trying to do that at least?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the crux of Kino, that there's.
Yeah,
Tends to
I mean, there are still
moral
series that kind of just do whatever the fuck, right? So I was just wondering, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the idea behind Kino is that most of the places she visits, in some way or another, kind of challenges like her personality or her ideals
or her initial perceptions of things, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's more or less continued. Whether the moral of the story is meaningful or not is another story. But yeah, that's mostly the part of Kino like that matters. But I don't know. I feel like the recent light novels have kind of just lost their
lost their edge.
I guess like it's kind of just like writing them for the sake of writing them.
It's less focused, is what you're talking.
Yeah.
About. It is definitely less focused, which is again very unfortunate. It is hard to write that. I mean, again, like it's a professional, and it's writing and it is art, so we should expect that still. Like that should be the expectations. Like you have the right to have those high expectations because it is art, and you want to value it at that point. But it is unfortunate that the author wasn't able to sort of keep up, or rather, more maybe even he was coerced by the editors or by the changing times to sort of write more shallow stuff and just kind of publish it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, the art on the front of the light novels has certainly indicated the changing times.
No, it's like that fucking God, I keep remembering Twin Tales Twin Tales, but also in like other reference heavy series where it's like, now all you guys do is you just publish pictures of like cute girls on the novel covers, and everybody just evaluates it by that, right?
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. Again, very unfortunate. I'm not.
I mean, his art's been slowly shifting towards that for a very long time now, but
Understandable.
it's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. I was trying to think of how I could make it into something about like
Something
Enoke or something.
about, yeah.
But yeah. Okay. But okay. So overall, I know you're sort of down on this, but how would you recommend it, or like, how would you recommend something different if you had, or if you wanted to recommend something different? Like, if people were like, I still want to get into Kino no Tabi though, or something like that. Then how would you recommend stuff?
Besides recommending the original,
I mean, no, you can recommend the original if you want. Just like some way, if somebody was like, well, I heard about this Kino no Tabi thing. Should I get into it? What's happening with this? So, how do you?
But the original's old and gross. I don't want to watch.
well, then I call you a fucking loser for the first thing. I don't know, because like I didn't like this first episode, but you never know, right? Something could change later down the line, and the other episodes are really good.
So maybe something like, if you have time, watch the original series first, and then maybe later get back into this.
Well, do you think you should watch this one before the original?
Yeah, that's
No.
actually a pretty pertinent question.
No, I would say absolutely not. I think the original is an extremely well done show. And,
I don't mean priorities wise. I mean like, if I was like, hey, I want to watch Kino, and I'm probably going to watch the new one, do you think someone would be better off watching the new one first and then going back to the old one?
That's hard to say with only one episode out. I don't know if because the original goes into like the like how Kino's like traveling life starts, right? It goes into who is Kino before Kino, right? Like Kino's a title, it's not her name. And I don't know if this new one's going to go into that. If it does, I would say there's not really much like there's not too much weight in watching one before the other if it goes into like what it means for her to be Kino. But if this one doesn't, then I would absolutely say you like have to watch the first one before this. Because if this one's just like episodic, adventures, and then that's it, then this is kind of just a continuation of what's already been like pre-established, I guess, by the original.
Right. Okay. All right. I guess with that, we should probably wrap up. Again, thank you, Nier, for giving us this long survey.
Would you recommend Kino's Tabi? Kino Sabi?
I don't know where you're going with this, but stop.
Kino's. All right. Anyways, again, I know it was not easy for you, especially after something like the recent Berserk
Sabi?
debacle. She knows. Can you stop continuing the joke, man? Alright. I know it must have not been easy for you, especially after sort of the recent Berserk debacle, and kind of expecting, hopefully there's something like this, especially when there were rumors of, decent stuff going in, right? Like, but yeah, hopefully Kino no Tabi does, at least the new one does improve a little bit over time.
Yeah, hopefully there's less reused CG. That would be very nice.
Jesus. All right, and with that, we are moving on finally to the news. So again, we've shortened the news in the recent bits, but today, especially since it is the start of the fall season. There's a lot of stuff going on and like the transitions, etc., etc., etc. There's quite a decent amount of news coming up. So first piece of news. This is on the Kimono Friends front. So what happened? A quick timeline was that the app was made. What?
We're covering this, huh?
Yeah, I do want to do it because Kimono Friends is a meme. But so a quick timeline on people who didn't really get caught up with Kimono Friends. Kimono Friends was an app. It kind of crashed because it was like crap. And then it became an anime, and people were like, "Whoa, fucking Tumblr memes," stuff like that. So it became wild. And then people were like asking for stuff like season 2, when's doing more game stuff. So like a whole bunch of random like merchandise stuff came out. There were announcements for Kimono Friends season 2, right? At the anime, and then this came out. So Kimono Friends director Tatsuki reported on Monday that he's no longer on the Kimono Friends anime project. He said that it was apparently on notification from publishing a production company, Kadokawa. He apologized to fans for the sudden news that he himself also found very disappointing. So he just like randomly got fired. But Kadokawa and Kadokawa Duengo, the parent company of the Japanese media company Kadokawa and the telecommunications company Duengo, the president of that, Kawakami Nobuo, posted a response on Tuesday to journalist Yo Mikami about Kimono Friends director Tatsuki's removal from the anime project on Monday. Kawakami said that he was quote-unquote worried about the entire incident and saying that he recognized the personal effort that Tatsuki poured into the anime. So what's actually going on here is that like there's some sort of middle line, the production staff, or plus like some slight, I guess, mid to up high level bigwigs that are sort of fucking with the anime project for some reason. And so the director is fired, but like the super top head, like the president of this like Kadokawa and like the people who are putting in money, right?
Well,
have like no idea what's going on.
you have to realize this was a fucking massive controversy. I believe Kadokawa lost about like 6% in stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
That was within like a day.
Yeah, some weird
breaking.
shit happened.
Like they lost a lot of money just from this.
Yeah.
And then like, you know,
I mean because
higher
like,
ups are like I guess I should say something.
Just like I mean because like the random firing of the director and like you know production, just especially since he said it was from production, which means one of two things. One, there's like some sort of like personal random stuff that's going on that's affecting entire like serious production, right? Or two, there's some funding issue / like huge logistics issue going on, which again is not exactly reassuring, right? So
well, you also have to question like how often does this happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is only coming to light because like he spoke out about it.
Yeah, on Twitter.
You have to you have to keep in mind the culture in Japan is kind of like if you get fired,
mm-hmm.
you don't say anything about it because
you just keep quiet.
Because then your company suffers for it.
Exactly.
And that's not something you want to do as an employee.
That's also what happened with like stuff like A1 Pictures, the Silverlink, Mitsuhiro Ichiki, Kokoro Connect scandal, so yeah, et cetera.
So this has probably happened a lot at Kadokawa, and this is like the first time that it's really kind of been brought to light. And
at such a high level too.
And unfortunately for Kadokawa, it was with Kimono Friends.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest series right now in Japan that's very important to a lot of people and important enough for a lot of people to make a big stink and important enough for Kadokawa to lose a very large amount of money.
That is very true. They picked the wrong series to fuck with, and it just had to be like the meme series.
Yeah.
But hopefully the anime gets sorted out. I am very worried about what's going on there. Like I'm not even sure if this is sort of like some sort of indication of a bigger thing, even because it could be, right. Like like if it's like production companies just like, oh, this director, he's just randomly out, especially on a very public series like this, right? It's not like it's a short or it's some sort of random like tier 2 series, right, that they're just working on the side. It's a big thing now. So hopefully nothing is super wrong.
Well, why is Kimono Friend so popular?
Because meme magic is real.
Meme, dude.
Penguin would
Anyway,
love
Is
it
it
too.
like the keyhole sweater of animes?
Actually, yes.
It's more like the kimono friends of anime.
yeah, it's like, why is Attack on Titan so popular when before it was just like it barely scratched, was like, all right, Oricon like
it
top
won
18.
It won an award before it became an anime. It was definitely popular before then.
Yeah,
was
so did
shitty.
fucking Prison School. So who cares?
Yeah, but again, it didn't even scratch like Oricon top 15 before. But then like it got the meme like OP and everybody reacted to the anime opening, blah blah blah, and then suddenly it steals 1/3 of One Piece's sales in 1 year.
Top 10 anime deaths.
Fucking kill me.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah. But next next sort of section of the news, we're going to go into the intersection between Western, production stuff like that, and East and Japanese anime. The first on the line. This is all fucking depressing, honestly. I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, so we're gonna skip about 4 stories right now.
Do you want to talk? Actually, no. Okay, I'm going to talk about 3, and then you're gonna.
I don't really want to talk about any of these.
You're gonna do the last one, all right? All right. So Paramount Pictures and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions are producing a live-action Hollywood adaptation of Makoto Shinkai's Your Name.
J.J. Abrams,
I just
the Star Wars guy.
yes,
I
and
pray this is an empty threat.
and the new Star Trek. Can we not have fucking J.J. Abrams produce Your Name? Like, I don't want him near like slice of life.
J.J. Abrams saw all the lens flare in Your Name and was like, I can do that.
He saw the meteor and he's like, yeah, that's definitely me.
I can do that.
That me. I just like all these guys, like all these in these like names, like all the Western names are all related to like action, like high technology stuff. That's not what this series is.
But there's a meteor.
Yeah, what if it becomes like
What if
what was that, Armageddon or whatever? What if it's a remake of Armageddon where it's about them stopping?
yeah,
What
what
was
if
that?
what if the meteor comes down and instead of them like swapping bodies or whatever, a transformer comes out and it starts
They just end up on the Enterprise. Like,
Yeah.
But I just like I know like the director is all like he may respect these directors, he may respect these writers, and that's fine. I respect J.J. Abrams too. I'm not like I don't like hate the guy or anything for a lot of the works he's done, but like really like Your Name, come on, I just can we stop making live action Hollywood stuff of like the most popular thing that fucking grubby Hollywood hands can reach for? It's
Yeah,
just
like Neo Yokio. I mean Death Note.
yeah.
Death Note. Whoops.
reminder, I
You mean
believe
Ghost in the
Battle
Shell?
Angel Alita is still on the
Battle
way.
Angel Alita and fucking random people are
It's
voicing
old.
it.
No one remembers Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah, nobody does. That's why
Exactly.
it's very fucking confusing as to why it's getting a
That's
live
why it's
action.
very relevant in making a live action. Yeah.
Well, hasn't
Anyways.
it been quote unquote getting a live action years? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
one of those
yeah.
like fucking empty threats.
Yeah.
Like,
When-
well,
when's-
Yeah, they were doing casting a while ago. Though,
When's
so.
the live action Bleach with the Zac Efron that I was promised?
live action Idolmaster with
There's already Idolmaster Korea. Stop
With
it.
No.
you, the viewer, for the
no,
experience.
it's what's his Jack Black has to
Jack Black. Yeah. Jesus. Anyways, next up, American independent production company Skydance Television announced that it has signed a multi-year agreement with Patrick Massett and John Simon, who are the Friday Night Lights executive producers and Lara Croft Tomb Raider writers. But the pair serve as writers, showrunners, and executive producers on Skydance television projects, including Skydance's live-action Sword Art Online series.
Why couldn't J.J. Abrams get this one instead? That one I would understand.
I don't want anybody to get their hands on this.
What about
Just-
Guillermo del Toro?
Why is it the Friday Night Lights guy?
No.
They were like, yeah, this football drama.
Why is it anybody?
What,
Why is this
what?
happening? Why are we in the worst fucking timeline?
Because Hollywood is fucking dead, dude.
They're grasping at whatever they can, man.
It's the darkest timeline.
They're trying to get in on that anime market by making their own live
Skydance.
action
Yeah.
for some reason.
Skydance television producer Ross commented, "We're already deep in development with Patrick, John, and Leda on our larger-than-life Skydance SAO series, in which we aim not only to satisfy the franchise's
Oh
enthusiastic
no! I
sci-fi
hate
anime
when they say
fans,
that.
but also to appeal to new TV audiences
That's
around
what
the world."
Dragon Ball Evolution said.
Yo, but did you see that sweet head slide in Dragon Ball Evolution?
You know,
It was pretty good.
if literally every single one of these flop, there could be no greater outcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
If Sword Art Online,
I don't think there can be another outcome.
No. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. Like when Sword Art Online live action inevitably flops, people you realize the two sides that are gonna be fighting each other are like the Western people who are like, yeah, why not? Just this could be cool. Like blah blah blah. Like anything like dub or live action is cool. Like that fucking autistic crowd fights the Sword Art Online fans like on the internet, and it's going to be
When's live action Redline where it's just fucking NASCAR?
yeah.
are there? I mean, it shouldn't. We already had that. What's that one gay movie where it had a bunch of references to like other anime? You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
The one with fucking Adam Sandler or whatever?
No, it had like Ultraman and the Iron Giant in it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
You're not talking about Wreck-It Ralph, right?
Ready Player One.
Oh. That don't...
Wasn't that bad?
I heard it was okay.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be great, but
Ready Player One, even the book was overplayed it. Ha ha ha, they said a video game. Yeah, I don't know, man.
yeah.
Memes.
Let's move
Maybe-
on from that.
Like,
Yeah?
it might be okay because it's Sword Art Online and it's virtual reality. You can
Wait,
get
wait,
away
wait,
with
That
it.
makes it.
Just say it.
That makes
Wait,
it.
no, no,
That
shut
makes
up.
it
Sword
even
Art Online.
further from
Shut up.
okay.
Here,
Sword Art Online isn't okay.
They might be able to get away
Wait,
with
wait,
really
wait,
weird stories.
Wait, near. Sorry, fuck, I'm confused. Wait, okay. Did you say it would be? Did you say the live action series? Did you imply that it would be saved because of the fact that it's sort of online?
You can get away with a lot of really crazy stuff by explaining
Yeah,
it
but
as
none of the crazy
as
stuff
Sword Art doesn't
as
get away with the
VR
crazy shit.
compared to stuff like Ghost in the Shell or Dragon Ball Evolution.
I mean, the VR stuff doesn't.
Do
I
you
mean,
re-
the VR
No,
stuff
it's the
doesn't
same as Ghost in
matter?
the Shell.
If
Wait,
you can't,
why
if
does
you
the VR
can't
matter?
get away with crazy stuff in something like Dragon Ball, I don't know what else you can get away with.
No. Okay, the
video
VR,
game
whatever
video
stuff
game
doesn't
high
matter.
school.
I mean,
Video game high
school was
Fucking bad.
season one was the good one. Everything else after that was kind of.
Higa
Okay,
flies
look,
away
look.
on a bike with Cola.
VR and like the technology, like CG, blah blah blah, Blade Runner, Tron stuff, is going to be the least of Sword Art Online's worries, especially if it's connecting with a Western audience. How do you think like Kirito Asuna, Harem, like blah 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 blah? Do you think that's gonna work out in a Western audience live action?
Yeah,
Like, what
just the westernized names from Kirito,
No,
Kazuga,
do you think?
they're not going to do that.
Kazuga
They're
to
not
like
going to do that.
How do you Westernize Harem?
Ken Summers or something.
Yeah, I don't think you can westernize like
Asuna
three girls
is like-
lusting after some dude's dick.
Yeah, especially the black whatever it was.
Especially now,
Black
especially
Peter.
fucking days, like, you're not getting away with that.
Well, Asuna is gonna be like Alice, even though there's already an Alice
But
character.
but Toast, too, like, you even said, like, oh, they didn't get away with it. Gits. It's like, yeah, and Gits, they tried to be like, oh, well, she's a cyborg. Which is a perfectly reasonable explanation, but it doesn't fucking matter because it's stupid. Like, it was dumb and wasn't necessary that she wasn't Asian, fucking white. So they're not going to be able to brush this under the rug because it's like, oh, it's VR. Like, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked before.
It's okay. It's in the animus. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
The VR whatever stuff that like literally is the least of my worries. Like the whole
What is going to if
they could show like claymation for the VR and like that would be the least of its problems.
That'd be hype, dude.
Yeah, the biggest
well,
of its problems
what
is
arc do
still
you
the
think
fact
this is
that
going to cover, or is this going to be a new original story?
it's probably going to be it's gonna be like fucking
Aincrad arc. That's the
no,
least.
yeah, it's gonna be the Aincrad arc, and the ending is gonna be just like him, just like rocketing off like Spy Kids or some shit, or like it's gonna be
If
some.
it's going to be the Aincrad arc, that's going to be like the least damaging to its reputation. If they do,
I mean, it's
freaking
gonna be least damaging.
Fairy Dance or Gun Gale or
it's
Alice
still sort of fucking online.
Mother Cesario.
To be honest, I can see them doing Gun Gale because fucking Western gun bro dudes.
No, and
Let's
also
let's
'cause
turn-
it's not
let's
girl
turn-
representation, dude.
Yeah, kind of.
Megan Fox is
She's a
Kirito.
trans. Kirito's trans. Haha.
End my life, please.
Dude, how are you gonna react when they use Gun Gale as like as an trans LGBTQ applicant?
Sword Art Online is the most progressive movie of the current decade.
More progressive
you
than
gonna
Sword Art
react?
Online.
Yeah,
Progressive.
progressive, exactly. That's progressive in the title.
Shit. Progressive is
Christian
probably going to be in the
as Kirito.
subtitle.
You played yourself, dude. you got it already has progressive in the title. Oh my god, kill me. Anyways,
I'm going to. You know what? I will
there
watch
are two
it.
more pieces of news. I can't take two
I
more.
will watch this.
Is Kirito secretly bi?
All right,
I will watch this with my little brother just so I can.
Alright, I'll watch a trailer of it, but nothing more.
No,
I guess
Aspire. I invite you to watch it with me.
no.
Here,
Next
you
piece
can
of
come
news.
with me.
Yeah, next piece of news. Aniplex of America announced at its industry panel at Anime Weekend Atlanta on Saturday that it will stream the English dubs of the Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day, and God Eater anime exclusively on Verizon Media's Go 90 streaming
Verizon?
service starting in October.
You know, if the God Eater Games dub is anything to go by, this can only be bad.
Dude, it's gonna be on your favorite streaming service, Verizon Go 90.
Verizon should go fuck.
What the heck is Verizon?
Oh my
Isn't
god.
Verizon a fucking phone company?
Oh wait,
No, they're phone, TV, and internet, and they're incredibly overpriced.
Yeah,
Their
it's
bill
part.
is
You know how it's
not
like AT&T and like everything else. It's like part of the sister sort of company group
Mm.
that split up from before. Yeah, but anyways, so if you have Verizon Go 90 service, be sure to watch the
Wow, all of
Anohana-
three people in the world.
Anohana dub and the God Eater anime dub.
the company also plans to stream Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Madoka, Sword Art Online, Gurren Lagann, and Fate Zero. Wow, those are some really safe choices.
I'm sure it's all shit. I'm sure it's free for fucking Verizon
I
subscribers.
mean, those are basically all the series that Aniplex owns. So
What about
Um,
Limited Blade Works?
oh yeah, they do have
Yeah.
UBW. Is UBW? Yeah, UBW is dubbed already.
Yeah, UBW is stuff. But anyways, if you're interested in it, go check it out. And the last piece of Western Eastern mixed news. Nier is going to present for us.
Why do I have to do this? Of all people.
Oh no!
You want to read from the first paragraph? Actually, that's better
Want me
description
to
than
do
just
it?
reading out the
I'll
title.
do it.
I read about this a while ago too, and when I first read
Read the
Like-
paragraph, Nier.
the headline for this news, I was like, "There's no way this is real."
Read the first paragraph, Nier.
Entertainment news source The Hollywood Reporter revealed on Monday. This was this Monday. That Paramount Pictures has acquired the rights to develop a film for Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
Please don't let it be Sonic Boom.
It gets better.
Neil Moritz Fast and
Really?
Furious franchise remains attached to the project as executive producer alongside Tim Miller, Deadpool, and Toby Asher, and Jeff Fowler would direct. Dimitri Johnson and Dan
Dan.
Javons are co-producing the project.
Yeah, so and then what Tuss mentioned, the CG animated Sonic Boom series produced by France We Do Productions premiered on Cartoon Network in 2014 and was accompanied by two new games: Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric for Wii U and Sonic Boom: Shatter Crystal for Nintendo 3DS.
Neither were good.
Yeah. Anyways, Sonic, another Sonic the Hedgehog
It says
film
it says
rights pickup.
it says hybrid CGI and live action.
Yeah,
The
you
worst-
left out the most important part.
The
It's gonna be
worst
live
part of
action.
Sonic is the
Yeah.
human characters. No one cares about them.
It's going to be Sonic 06, the movie.
Oh, I hope.
It's really Sonic and the
Sonic's
Dark
gonna
Knight.
get a human girlfriend, and she's gonna get super AIDS, and he's gonna have to save her.
Played by Megan Fox.
Son-
You could only hope.
Sonic and the Black Knight. He's gonna kiss the princess.
Will Chris Chen have a cameo? If they let Chris Chen
I
have a
hope so.
cameo, I want this fucking.
I'm pretty sure they referenced Chris Chan in Sonic Boom. So,
They said that wasn't true, but they're fucking liars.
yeah.
They're gonna have the guy who does Stanza in Seinfeld do Dr. Eggman.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be good.
I hope Dr. Eggman looks like fucking like he's like
Danny
really
DeVito.
I hope he's like really skinny and he's got like just a nasty ass scraggly looking beard. And he
Yeah,
looks nothing like Dr. Eggman except for
Yeah,
the fact he has orange
he
hair.
looks like Waluigi or something. But yeah.
Please don't let it be like Sonic Boom ish, or not Sonic Boom ish.
I mean, I just don't want this to come out in the first place. Just I don't
It
like, I
probably
don't want. Yeah, it probably.
They say this shit all the time.
It got passed around in like a couple of months back, right? Like somebody else was like, oh, we're gonna take up Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon or whatever, and they were like fighting over it with like Warner Bros.
I
And then,
really want this to happen.
you want this to happen?
I really want this to happen.
Is it like watching a car crash?
It's like watching several cars crash into each other at the same time.
Like from like this,
Yeah.
from like evenly angled like
They
area.
all have explosives attached to the front of them.
Oh Jesus!
But will you watch? I'll watch that movie. Why not? I
I'll
mean,
fucking, dude.
I will watch that in theaters.
I know. I have high hopes for it than Sword Art Online.
I'd hope.
You shouldn't have any hopes for Sword Art Online. Live action or not.
What if the Sword Art Online movie is just an advertisement for their VR technology game that they're coming up with? Like how the
I mean,
wizard.
I don't care if it's an advertisement for a fucking black Kirito sword dildo. The point is, it's
I
going
fucking
to
knew it was going to be a dildo.
be. Yeah.
You guys remember the wizard? That was an advertisement for Super Mario Brothers 3. That was cool.
Please kill me. Anyways, thank you, Nier, for covering the news. If you are a Sonic the Hedgehog the Sonic fan, please
Leave.
check this out. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Some numbers here. Kataka's monthly New Type magazine. New Type is like a super casual Japanese anime magazine in Japan. Announced the results of the New Type Anime Awards 2016-2017 at the Machi Asobi Volume 19 event on Saturday. I don't know who selected this, but
Probably not somebody with a brain, according to what I'm saying.
oh, it's like for these awards, readers of monthly New Type magazine and other anime fans voted for their favorite works. So this
Yeah.
is mainly
so-
Japanese fans, but probably
yeah,
some,
so I was right.
Best work, number 1, Fate Apocrypha.
Well, what did you expect that season? Like
2,
seriously.
Bungo Stray Dogs 2. 3, Katsukeki Token Rambu. 4,
It's not like a specific season. I'm pretty sure it's like within a certain
what did you
time
expect
frame.
when they had that Best Girl award go to Astolfo? People really, really like Astolfo.
Yeah, it's almost like not a girl.
Anyways, 5, Konosuba. 6, Yuri on Ice. 7, Kakegurui. 8, Attack on Titan Season 2. 9, Recreators. And 10, Restaurant to Another World. Best work. Work. This is the theatrical film. This is the best one, in my opinion. Well, actually, no. The next one is pretty funny too. Number 1, Sword Art Online the movie ordinal scale.
I'm
Number
not
2, a
surprised.
silent voice. Number 3, in this corner of the world. Number 4. Number 4, Kizumogatari 3, rake its head. Number 5, Gekijouma Kuroko no Basket Last Game, or also known in English as Kuroko Basketball, the movie Last Game. Number 6, Black Butler, also known in Japanese as Kuroshitsuji, Book of the Atlantic. Number 7, Uchusenkai Yamato 2202, Ai no Senshi Tachi. Number 8, Free, Timeless Medley. Number 9, No Game No Life 0, which is like the prequel fucking spin-off bullshit. And number 10, Gekijoba Fake Kaleid Liner Prisma Ilya, Second no Chikai. Wow,
I'm
those
surprised that
top 3.
the number 10's on both lists. I didn't think Restaurant to Another World would make it, and I'm pretty sure Prisma Ilya should be ranked up higher on the list.
Shut up. No, there wasn't enough making out this season.
Yeah, they don't have to go to the movies though. Next,
Yeah.
next best character male. Number 1, Kirito. Number 2, Osamu Dazai, Bungo Stray Dogs. Number 2, Chuya Nakahara, Bungo Stray Dogs. Number 4, Victor Nikiforov, Yuri on Ice. Number 5, Attack on Titan, Levi, Attack on Titan. Sorry.
You know,
yeah.
This 2 to 5, actually 2 to fucking like
10.
the rest of it actually is like
not
entirely voted by Fujos.
Yeah, pretty much. But number 1 is just like suddenly it's Kirito.
I mean, who else could possibly deserve number 1?
You know how
Number-
well their movie did.
Number 1, best character female. Number 1, Asuna. Sword Art Online the movie ordinal scale. Number 2,
Who
Serval.
could have guessed?
Number 2, Serval. Number 3, Kyoka Izumi. Number 4, from Bungo Stray Dogs. Number 4, Mikasa Ackerman, Attack on Titan. Number 5, Tsubasa Hanakawa, Columbia. Yes, Monogatari series. Hanakawa made it first. Number 6, Shinobu Oshida. I'm glad that it wasn't fucking
Shinobu fans blown the fuck out.
that too, but also fucking I'm glad.
Senjo.
Yeah, Senjo. I'm glad.
I mean, Senjo hasn't shown up recently, so
Yeah, especially
Hanakawa and Shinobu.
Because Kizu is
very
mainly
because of
Hanakawa.
Kizu, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Blah blah.
Ruler's on the list? Why Ruler? Okay,
Because Fate Apocrypha.
I mean, why not Astolfo?
Because maybe this poll actually checked the character's gender.
I mean,
but
Ruler's okay,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, so best voice actors for at least number 1, Yuichiro Umehara, who does sort of like cool sort of male voice actors, like he does the Ox in like Juni Taisen from this series. He did Date Matsumune, Sengoku Nightblood. He does what is it? He did Young Black Jack and the title Young Black Jack, right? He does some like Idolmaster Side M stuff too as well. He did Manabu, Horikita Manabu in Classroom of the Elite, so on.
Cool.
He did number 2, Miyu Irino. I forget what he did here. I think he's. Yeah, I forget what he did here. He does like a whole. He does like a whole bunch of like Chai Furu. He did Beyblade stuff. A lot of like Fujo stuff here, but
Is that why he's top?
Probably.
probably. And third is Yoshitsugu Matsuoka, also known as the awkward prince, sort of, the young guy. Yeah, the young gun kind of screams a lot. He does Sora in No Game No Life. He does a lot of sort of the screamy protagonists recently, like in Sakura So, the immature guy who screams a lot, etc., etc. The rest of the list is pretty top for the. Like, I don't understand why these guys didn't get it, but yeah. Number 4 is Soma Saito. Number 5, Kamiya Hiroshi. Number 6, Miyano Mamoru. Number 7, Kaji Yuki. Number 8, Fukuyama Jun. Number 9, Suabe Junichi. Number 10, Iguchi
Shoutouts to
Takuya.
Archer.
So literally everybody who's like super famous, and then the top 3 are like, the Fujo people.
Yeah.
Best voice actress for females. Number 1, Miyuki Sawashiro.
It's definitely because of Mordred.
Rewind that. Number 1, Miyuki Sawashiro Miyuki. Number 2, Hanazawa Kana. Yes.
Who's that? That Ayane
Number 3.
Taketatsu?
Shut up. Number 3, Hayami Saori. Not surprising. Yuki Aoi, Tomochi Haruka, Ozaki Yui, Uchida Maya, Minase Inori, Sakamoto Maya, and Morohoshi Sumire.
I am not surprised by this list at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
that's about as typical list as you can get.
yeah. So I'm gonna skip over a lot of ones, but I'm gonna go over the best studio at the very end. Oh well, first of all, I'm gonna go over to the very end. Best studio. Number 1, Bones. Number
Of course.
Number
Of
2,
course.
A1 Pictures.
Uh,
3, Mappa. Number
uh,
4, Yao Yorozu. Number 5, Ufotable. Number
Oh,
6,
duh.
Kyoto Animation. Number 7, Wit Studio. Number 8, Madhouse. Number 9, Silverlink, and number 10, Shaft.
isn't Yodazu just Komono Friends?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Alright,
Those
Japan.
pity votes.
Yep.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did.
come on,
They did
friends.
Love Rice and Minare Diva too, though. Come on, guys.
Oh, Love Rice got a second season.
Did Kiwani do anything?
They did
Yeah, Maid Dragon.
Maid
was- was
Dragon.
that this year?
Oh. Was that this year?
Free movie.
That was
They did the
spring
free movie, right?
Oh, free stuff. Okay. What did
Ah.
Ufotable do this year?
Fucking,
Delay Heavensfield.
Sword Boys.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah, I forgot. That show was kind of boring.
Also, the last one, Nogizaka 46 Award, the monthly new type joint special award, goes to Eromanga Sensei.
Okay.
So now you guys know that
Okay, I'm mad.
Japanese fans have clearly the superior tastes. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on.
I don't
This will
remember
put a-
best mecha design.
Sasuke.
I don't remember any mechs in ordinal scale.
Oh, yeah, we let's move on.
Weren't like the final bosses mechs?
No, the final boss was the final boss of Minecraft.
Who cares?
You asked.
I sure
Fuck
did.
is ordinal scale.
The
Never
movie.
we
mind.
move on. All right. So this will put a little bit of a better taste in our mouths.
I don't give a shit.
Fuck.
So, Dengeki Bunko editor Kazuma Miki, also known as the guy who prostrated himself for certain reasons about a year or so ago, about half a year or so ago, at an event, prostrated and apologized to fans, confirmed at the Dengeki Bunko Aki no Saiten 2017, also known as Dengeki Bunko Autumn Festival 2017 event in Tokyo on Sunday, that a third
That
television
we're
anime
getting
season.
another Dengeki Fighting Climax game. Thank God.
Yes. The third television anime season based on Kazuma Kamachi's A Certain Magical Index, Toaru Majutsu no Index, light novel series has been greenlit. The anime will premiere in 2018 as part of the launch of A Certain Project 2018. 2018 or 218年の Toaru Project. Blah, blah, blah.
So they're trying to emulate 2017, the year of fate.
What?
2017
No.
was the year of fate.
Oh, I mean, I'm not entirely.
I don't think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, but anyways, obviously all the old voices and probably most of the old staff are reprising their role. Again, Kazuma Miki, the editor, emphasizes that the certain project 2018 or 218年とある project is not just index. So maybe he means there's also a railgun, but I don't know.
So
Yo,
that means
they
Summer
mention
Head.
accelerator. If
Maybe
I
he's
get
announcing New
baited,
Testament.
if I get baited,
But yeah,
accelerator.
so obviously
so that
index fans,
confirms
everybody's
we're
been
getting,
waiting for this a long, long time. My only question is, obviously it'll be good. Actually, no, I'm not sure it'll be good. And let's not get into that conversation right now. But let's not get into that right now. But sorry. Let's not get into that right now. But
They are making a virtual on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when's
Index
the certain
stuff.
magical virtual on anime?
Yeah. Oh god, what if they have
I
this
take
third
that
season?
over New Testament. I would take that.
But what I'm wondering is that the story aside, and the story we're gonna talk about, in a lot of detail. We might even have a fucking roundhouse just for Index or a roundtable, which we haven't had in a long time.
How come you
But
get it? Okay.
but what I'm wondering is that are there still enough sort of people like rabid fans that are going to buy up all this is what I'm sort of wondering, because I know that Index was a gateway anime for many people.
Really?
Yeah, they
Really?
literally had a survey of like what was your gateway anime or whatever
In Japan?
yeah, and a
Okay.
couple of years back, people were like Index / like Sword Art Online / some other stuff.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if it is still sort of like that sort of thing. Like people are still willing to kind of go all out, buy Index stuff like that, because that's the important part for them, right? Or whether this is sort of just what I'm afraid of is it might have a thing that could end like sort of Hari season 2, but even worse because it's further out in the timeline. So hopefully it doesn't kind of whimper out. It doesn't just go like, "Hey, Russian winter, we're gonna start World War III," and then just kind of end. Hopefully it doesn't do any of that. Hopefully it goes well, but
Almost like season 2 before we waited 7 years.
yeah, season 2 definitely covered a lot of stuff, huh?
No, but I mean, at the very end, it's just like Accelerator is going to go do something. The end.
yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
And then 7 years by.
Maybe he
Yeah.
traveled in time.
Yeah.
Those 7 years.
But yeah, anyways,
That's his power, right? He can run really fast.
yeah. Can we okay? Hey, can someone someone fucking kick Session, I swear to God. He's like live action Index. Fuck this guy.
I mean, you can do it. Thomas' power is the power to not use CG in his.
No, you see,
His
it's
power
just
Yeah,
have glass shattering CG, glass shattering CG.
His power
Like
is to reduce the budget of the CG in the movie.
yeah, that's true. Anyways, obviously, for any fans of Index, this is great news. But hopefully, we are waiting with bated breath, but also with some trepidation. See how it goes. So yeah.
I don't give a gosh darn heck.
I don't care either.
Wow, you guys are rude.
Also, I guess we'll actually wrap up with that. That was about as much exciting sort of roller coaster ride news as I could take in one night. So we'll move on to the shoutouts and callouts. Again, the shoutouts and callouts is just everybody gets one shout out, one call out. One shout out is just something that you want to praise, rate 10 out of 10, whatever, butter up, and it can be any one thing, trend, item, person, restaurant, city, whatever. And call out is one thing that you want to insult, talk down to, -1 out of 10. And it can all, again, be any one anime, person, thing, or place. So, I guess I'll start. Shoutouts, huh? God. Actually, no, I want to start out with callouts first. Callouts to fucking Toast over here, who like so casually I'm still triggered by during our sort of online the live action thing discussion, he just so casually just something that's it's live action, but it'll be okay since it's sort of online, right? I'm just can we stop for just a second? This, just stop. Never imply in front of me that anything is going to be okay because of sort of online. So fuck you, Toast. That's called.
Then tell me what the best arc of Sword Art Online is.
There is no. I mean, everybody loses
There
in
is
every arc.
always a best arc of something, Spire.
It's probably
Stop looking at your glasses empty thing.
Is it best or least bad?
least bad. Yeah, it's probably iCred arc. I
There
mean,
you go. It's probably going to be Aincrad arc.
No, what you were saying is that even though a live action of an anime thing would be bad, that's where we started. at least it's Sword Art Online. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't make it better.
It's a safer choice than another anime like Dragon Ball Evolution.
Well, that's a little bit of extreme other example, but it's arc. But yeah, just
I mean, we already have video game like movies that came out, and they're
yeah, but
And
they're
they're
still not
not
good. Like that's
bad.
not good either. Yeah.
They're not terrible enough to have crashed their entire genre.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I
No.
mean they're
Unlike
pretty
Dragon
That's
Ball
because
Evolution.
Hollywood refuses to die.
You know, Pixels was truly a masterpiece of the fucking generation.
I mean, if you're
Isn't there a
if you're
Minecraft movie coming up too?
yes,
Yes.
if you're
Still
like
kicking.
standard for bad, like it's not good enough, or like it was really bad sort of thing, it's literally killing its genre. Then yes, maybe Sword Art Online will not like
It will-
kill its genre.
It's going to
I'm sorry.
revitalize its genre, just like the
I don't know if it's revitalize the genre.
just like the
No.
Minecraft movie will revitalize the children.
Usually flops don't revitalize anything.
Oh my god.
I have high hopes for that movie. It's
Alright.
gonna do great.
And the shoutouts. Oh my god. Shoutouts to. I actually wanted to call out two stuff, but what I should actually do.
Go
Against the
ahead.
rules.
I'll let you. I'll allow it.
Nah.
I won't.
Yeah, I will not. Fuck. How do I? Oh, actually, shoutouts to California Internet because for people who didn't know, I am on the West Coast now, but
Why'd you move?
I was grad school stuff, but
Because he hates playing fighting games with us.
yeah, I just wanted to lag all the time. But yeah, I thought things would go really like horribly in terms of like getting the internet set up, and it was pretty painful getting the internet set up. But then now I was just like, oh shit, I need to download anime quickly and just watch it, and like it's been going pretty supersonic racing over here. So good shit. I can download stuff without being like, come back like a million years later and be like, is it done yet? Like so, yeah. So shout out to California Internet. Anyways, Nier. Shout out to callouts, please.
I'm gonna shout out to the Made in Abyss soundtrack. The OST came out a few weeks ago, and boy howdy is it good.
Again, it's like one of those like Japanese RPG sort of things. So it's like the RPG is like sorry, the soundtrack is like almost appropriate. Like that.
Yeah, but it's worth noting that it's not by a Japanese man. It is by Kevin Penkin. I believe he's
Oh,
Slavic or something.
is he like
Some
what's his
sort of European?
did he have
country.
prior experience doing stuff?
He's made music for like a couple like indie animated shorts and
Yeah, I was thinking indie, but I wasn't
some
sure
indie
whether
games
I was
and
right.
stuff. But he's never really worked on like anime. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Which is good though. I mean,
And the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. Pretty much every track really, really fits the tone
Mhm.
of Made in Abyss. Like, if you want to like read the manga, there's really nothing better you can listen to. Like, that's how good it is. It's a really amazing soundtrack, and I would.
I
Definitely
think Made in Abyss, like at least the idea of like what people want to do audio wise, visually, sort of, everything kind of came together. Like everybody was just like, I know what to do for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah. The team really knew like what they really wanted to like put across in terms of audio visuals, and they definitely succeeded in that. And I would definitely recommend going out, listening to the soundtrack, and maybe buying it. I'd say it's worth the purchase. I think it's only like $20 or something. So,
Okay. Your call out?
call outs to shit. I might catch some flack for this, but call outs to the people who saw the fucking Pacific Rim 2 trailer
Uh-oh.
and were like, oh man, this looks like the greatest shit ever. It sure is great to be a kaiju fan. Fuck off.
Really?
You're
Really?
gonna like sit here and pretend to be a fucking kaiju fan because you watched Pacific Rim 1?
Yeah,
Like-
that's actually kind of silly, though, in my opinion.
Weren't there like no kaiju trailer?
Yeah, there was like one kaiju in the fucking trailer. Like majority of the trailer is the fucking mechs fighting each other for.
To
Probably-
be fair though, they
probably
probably don't
stupid
want to
reason.
fucking in a trailer.
Yeah, I don't. know.
When's the collab with Godzilla or Ultraman?
This one barely happened, so probably never.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I see people doing shit like that, and like, you see somebody who's like, "Oh man, Pacific Rim was the best kaiju movie I've seen in such a long time,"
Oh boy.
and then you go, "Oh yeah, how'd you like Shin Godzilla?" Like, what is that?
What's Shin Godzilla, man?
Like fuck
What
off,
are you,
dude.
fucking weeaboo?
Yeah.
When's the next black grandpa gonna like have an Asian daughter or whatever? I'm pretty sure that was a major point of the story, right?
Yeah, don't worry. It's the new protagonist is black, so it's all good.
Is he
And
also
from
gonna have an
Star
Asian daughter?
I think don't worry. It's a black man with probably an Asian partner. So hey, checking all the marks. She's probably trans too. So
No. All right. So next on the
Yeah.
list, Dark.
Yeah. Shoutouts to that index news, but not the index. Shoutouts to the news that were most likely also Railgun 2018. That's really cool.
Shout outs to the other news.
Yeah, because I don't really give a fuck about index.
Hey, no. You say Railgun, but what if it's just New Testament?
Well, I said, but you couldn't hear me. I was like, what if it's the accelerator anime? I'm gonna
What
just
is it?
fucking off myself. Like, it's over. There's no
Or
reason.
just go to Japan off Kazumiki. It's like
The
no.
accelerator
it's-
manga's a fucking
Go on.
turd, dude.
going nuclear, dude.
Yeah. I have my level 6 shift. Haha, for all you index out there.
Haha, nerd.
I'm an awfulness.
And yeah, I'm gonna call out that top 10 female characters list, man. Why wasn't Arthenis on it?
Mm,
Where was Arthenis?
We're
truly
you
a
know-
question for the agent.
Mikasa Mikoto. Mikoto isn't as good as Asuna, so unfortunate for her.
Yeah, she's not as good as Arthenis.
Yeah,
Man,
you
no
know.
one's as good as Arthenis.
I mean, Asuna can run it like Mach 5, right?
No, not Asuna. Arthenis.
Oh, right.
Both of them actually.
Yeah, I mean, she could probably run even faster, like Mach 15 or something, right?
I bet she can wear the white dress too. Come on now.
Yeah.
She could like turn into a cylinder, I think.
That's her
Not a
special
joke.
power. That's a party trick. That's a party joke. You just kind of do it. You're like, hey guys. But yeah, unfortunate that she had to be defeated at the hands of such worthy opponents like Asuna, but and served well from Kimono Friends, but she had to go.
Damn shame.
And last but not least, Toast.
Huh?
Shout out to call-outs, please.
Oh, yeah, nice, cool. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
All right.
Got him.
Anyway, shout out is to what's her name? Amaki Sally.
The meme girl, because she's doing the 22/7. Okay, so I'll give the background. So 22/7, right? We did cover it a lot with our news, right? The made by the AKB48 founder. It's supposed to be an idol group that transcends dimensions or whatever. It's just an idol, like an anime idol group essentially, but it's like all the dance routines are like animated by CG, like live animated or something like that. And behind each of the things, there's like a voice actor. And one of the voice actors is Amaki Sally. And she's a Japanese voice actor, but she was born in the U.S.
She was
And,
born in San Francisco, California, I think.
Yeah. So, a lot of these idols these days do something called showroom, which is essentially It's essentially a streaming service, and then they like stream, and they probably get like donations or something. Who cares? Like they talk, do whatever, right? And she had a showroom session where she started taking English questions and stuff like that, and she's all like, I can't speak in English too much because then my ghetto side shows up or something like that. So obviously she became a Western anime hit sensation over time. If she opened a Patreon right now, she could probably retire in like half a month. So on and so forth. So I don't know what else.
Shout out Samaki Sally, who was born in Los Angeles, California, and knows about memes. She taught her fellow idols how to
Idol.
dab in Naruto Run. So we got that.
I thought all Japanese people knew how to Naruto run.
Yeah, I thought all Japanese people knew how to Naruto.
Oh, that's
But
racist.
anyways, what's your call out?
Huh? Oh. My call out is to Azur Lane
Azure Lane, is that like the Chinese Conclave?
that has
Is
really
it-
nice designs. Yes,
Is it Lane or Lance?
it's like
Lan? It's
Lane?
like Azure Lan or something.
Is it?
I don't know, like fucking Chinese names here. It's
Shut-
Azure Lane. It's Azure without an E and then Lane as in like
Oh,
shopping.
okay.
Why are you guys getting really good voice actors like Ayane Sakura in your Chinese mobile game?
They do the same thing for Girls Frontline.
Why
Or any Chinese anime kind of thing that even has like remotely decent money.
why does your Bismarck look just like Concoli Bismarck except with more fancy capes? Why does your Hosho look like a complete whore and not nice like regular Hosho?
Like, all right. Well, sorry. Are we done with the?
Why does your Atago and Takao have really nice Japanese imperial style uniforms, but Atago somehow has like ears, nekomimis? I don't
You're
get it.
wondering why this Chinese ripoff of Conclave has weird idiosyncrasies? Wow.
Most of the Japanese ships have ears. Like
It's probably because they get like the same artist to do a lot of the ships.
Yeah.
So there's going to be themes.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah. I guess Azure Lane. Just because Tess mentioned it, if you do want to check out a fucking Chinese ripoff of Conclave as an even further degenerate, please check it out.
I heard it's actually fairly competent though, just like Girls Frontline.
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay of it. It seems slightly more interactive than Concole, honestly.
Alright.
It's more like a bullet hell run and gun kind of thing.
Yeah, because Girls Frontline is I've played a bit of it. It's pretty Concole. Like the battles aren't very interactive. Like it's kind of just you're traversing the map and then you get into battle and then it's like the two teams shoot each other and then the winner wins. But this new like ship girl one, like you seem to be able to like move around and stuff. So it's at least slightly interesting. It's got nice art.
Alright, so check it out if you're interested, I guess. And with that, we are done with all the news for today. Again, it was quite a long session. We kind of made it back after previews with like the news and everything else, so it took a little bit longer than we thought. But anyways, we'll be covering more series like this. Obviously, the next 2 episodes will be a little bit more hectic because there are a lot of series. Again, there are 40 plus series like every fucking season, so we'll be covering some more of those. Please, if you do have like a specific series you want us to cover, please let us know beforehand so we can watch it, talk about it, review it, and then put it up on the podcast. But yeah, if you do like what we do this every other Saturday starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv /4PlayerAnimecast. That's with a number 4. If you do like us, follow us there. Follow us on our other social media, Facebook, Twitter, at 4PPAnimecast. That's our handle. All with a number 4, and our YouTube channel, of course, where we put up our VODs. We also have our own website, 4PlayerAnimecast.moe, where we upload all of our latest and greatest content, whether it be interviews or other stuff, sidecasts, etc., etc., etc. I do also have a sidecast recently that I did with Dark on a very interesting anime series. I barely got that through my mouth. Of anime series that I will be uploading shortly. So you can check it out there. It'll be on all various formats, including MP3, which will be also uploaded on iTunes and Google Play Music, so you can listen to them on the go. But yeah, we'll be talking about more about the fall 2017 series next time. And as always, see you then.